Okay, well, so as far as pre-nuptial agreements, or what are often also referred to as relationship agreements, basically we can assist in helping couples draw them. So we're talking about couples that are commencing a relationship together, or they may be partway through a relationship, and what we can do is help them to help regulate their financial arrangements, and we can also help them determine what might happen in the event of a separation as well. So it's really a way of providing some certainty and some security and some stability to couples to help them regulate their financial arrangements. And I often describe these sorts of agreements to clients like insurance policies, because you get an insurance policy on your house and you hope that it never burns down, but if it does, you'd like to have the policy there. So in the same way, often we do a relationship agreement or a prenuptial agreement, and couples will then put them away and never look at them again. So the other aspect is that often people will come to us and they've actually agreed about what they're going to do in terms of their financial arrangements during their relationship and what they may want to do in the event of a separation. So we don't reinvent all that or redo it all. We can help people actually give some substance to that and document it for them so that it is actually legally effective as well. But what we'll do is also perhaps raise other issues they may not have considered and help them make sure that it's a comprehensive agreement dealing with all those sorts of issues. Again, so we give them security and stability and they know where they stand. So one of the areas that we often cover in these types of agreements is dealing with assets that people have brought into the relationship, and that can often include things like a property, a house or an investment property, or cash or superannuation or anything that they've actually built up before their relationship has commenced. And often people want to protect those assets and keep them separate in the event of a separation, so they're dealt with separately. So that's certainly what a financial agreement or a prenuptial agreement can deal with. We can also deal with things like inheritances. So during the time that a couple is together, often one person may receive a large inheritance or gift from a family member, and again we can protect those assets if that's the intention of the couple, to make sure they're dealt with in a separate way as opposed to assets which they may acquire together on a joint basis during their relationship. So it is about protection of assets and making sure that an agreement and a separation is fair and reasonable, taking all those things into account. Right, so another situation in which these types of agreements can be very beneficial is couples who are going into a second relationship. They've been previously married and they may have adult children from a previous relationship, and so the agreements are very useful in terms of protecting assets that they've already built up as a legacy for their children, and so that we find that's a way of minimising family disputes as well, so that adult children know that although mum or dad is entering into a second relationship, that part of it in terms of their first relationship and what they consider to be their legacy is all protected and there are no issues moving forward. So again, it's all about creating harmony in terms of not just the couple, but potentially the wider family as well.